This is geometry, working on rotations, a type of transformations. A rotation is a transformation in which a figure is turned about a fixed point called the center point. One way that we like to do it in geometry is to turn the paper. And that's a 90-degree rotation. That's a 120 or 180-degree rotation. 270, and then all the way back to 360. That's an easy way to do a rotation. In a rotation, rays drawn from the center to the image, we'll call that the pre-image, and to its image, form an angle of rotation. So here you can see that we have this original, looks like a little flag here. We draw it to a point. We draw it to the corresponding point of its image, and the measurement in there would be the angle at which it was rotated. So if that's your center of rotation, we would turn it, and it shows that it's a 40-degree rotation to line up those two pictures. That flag onto that flag. We'll be rotating clockwise or counterclockwise. Clockwise is the way a clock goes. Counterclockwise is reverse. But actually what we'll be doing in class is typically just counterclockwise. So if you ever have to ask, I wonder which way to rotate this, the answer is always going to be counterclockwise, unless it's stated otherwise. So here are some rules. The main notes that we need. For us to figure out what a 90-degree rotation or a 180 or a 270, we have rules for those. We're going to take a look at this segment AB. We notice that in segment AB, we have our original points A, which is 2 to the right, 8 up. 2, 8. And B is 3 to the left, 5 up. So those are our original points. So what we're going to do right now is a 90-degree rotation. 90-degree rotation. So one way we can do that is you put your finger down there at the origin and you rotate your paper 90 degrees. And we're going to keep track of what our new points are. 90 degrees is going to give us an A prime. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 to the left. Actually 8 to the left and 2 up. So negative 8, 2. And our B prime, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 down. 5 to the left, 3 down. So that is where our image would be located. We rotated it 90 degrees. So now if you turn it back, you can come on over and plot those points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And 2 up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the left, 3 down. if we connected those, that would be our A prime and our B prime. Those would be our new points. So, can you tell me from our original points to our new image, what was the pattern? What did we do that was different? Take a look. We went from 2, 8, and we changed it -8, 2. And here we went -3, 5, and we changed it to -5, -3. So what rule, what pattern did we just do? We are going to keep, after we switch them, we are going to keep the x value the same. This x becomes the y, and it stays the same. But when you bring the y value up to become the x value, it changes the sign. So one way we can write it is -yx. When you switch the x and the y, change the sign on the front, that's a 90-degree rotation. We can take these coordinates and we can do it again. We can just switch them and change the sign on the left. Switch it, change the sign on the left. And that'll give us another 90-degree rotation. So that's 90, that's 180. Let's not look at that picture, but let's look down here at this picture. And what are our coordinates going to be? 2 to the left and 8 down. 3 to the right and 5 down. So we have our new points. 2 to the left and 8 down. So for 180, our new coordinate is -8, or -2, -8. And our B double prime is 3, -5. 2 to the left, 8 down. 3 to the right, 5 down. So that is our rule. Can somebody explain what pattern we would have done? What pattern would we have done to get this set? To do a 180. Can you look at those? From the original points to where you land here, can you explain how we got that? Just changing the sign, right? The x and y do not change position. So the negative became, or the +2 became a -2. +8 became a -8. Notice here the -3 became a +3, and the +5 became a -5. You just change the signs. That is a 180-degree rotation. So a 180-degree rotation, the x comma y is going to become -x, -y. And we can do that again. We're going to rotate it 90, total of 180, and a total of 270. So where are they now? Where is our original bar segment now? One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, down 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up 3. So how does that differ from the rule? Or we need to write a rule. How does that differ from the original? Somebody share how we went from A and got to A triple prime? What's the switcheroo that we did? Take a look at the pattern. This was 2 8s, and now we seem to be 8 with the 2. This was negative 3 and 5, so now we have this 5 and a 3.
We switched the places where they're at and added the negative 2 and negative.
Okay, so switch the letters and change the sign. So for our final rule, the 270 rotation, you noticed that we switched the letters, so now it's YX, but we changed the sign on the right. So now we can fill out our notes. The 90-degree rotation was to switch and change the sign on the left. Another 90-degree rotation was to switch them again and change the sign on the left. So that was the negative negative. And then switch them again and change the sign on the left. Those are 90-degree rotations. So now you can go straight to 180 or you can go straight to 270 by using these patterns. So as usual, we're going to graph the pre-image. We're going to use the coordinates rules for the rotations to find the coordinates of the image, and we'll graph the image. So let's try that. What is the rule for a 90-degree rotation? You can look back up there. Look back at your notes. What's your rule for a 90-degree rotation? We're going to take our A and the B. We're going to switch the order. And we change the sign to the one on the left. You see that? So we can quickly do that here. K prime is going to switch the numbers and change the sign on the left. So that is 2 to the left and 3 up. That's your K prime. The L, so L prime, what's that going to be? You're going to have the 2 before the 4 because you switch the numbers. You switch X and Y or A, B, whichever you want to call it. And you change the sign to the 1 on the left. So that's 2 to the left, 4 up. That's L prime. M prime, switch them and change the sign on the left. So now we're at 3, 4. That's M prime. And what's N prime going to be? Switch the numbers, change the one on the left, and keep the one on the right the same. So it's 1 to the right, 2 up. That is N prime. There it is. So another way to test that is if we're doing a 90-degree rotation, we can just take our paper and rotate it 90 degrees, and these are our new coordinates. Right there. 2 to the left, 3 to the left. And that's what we drew. 2 to the left, 3 to the left, down 1, down 2. Okay, let's try this one. This is a 270 rule. Let's pretend for a moment that we don't even know what the rules are. I can't remember the rules, Mr. Weber. Well, okay, let's try this. Let's rotate 270 degrees. That's a 90-degree rotation. That's a 180-degree rotation. And that's a 270-degree rotation. Where are we now? Well, the K is 2 to the right and 3 down. So we're 2 to the right and 3 down. That's K prime. L prime is going to be 2 to the right and 4 down. N prime, 1 to the left and 2 down. And M is 3 to the left and 4 down. That one was a little sloppy looking. 3 to the left and 4 down. So there they are. So if you make note of where your image points are, then you can write your answers down. Let's take a look at the flip side. A rotation does not change your size or shape. The size and shape does not change in a rotation. So, which of these values lines up with those values? When you rotate your paper, what side lines up with 7y? What side lines up with 7y? 7y lines up with the 3x plus 1. But I can't solve that because the variables are the same. What's the other two that line up with each other? As I rotate it, what ones are matching up? What one's on bottom? What one's on bottom? 3x equals 6. So when you divide, you know that your x equals 2. So then in your other example here, you can figure out what your y value is. So the size and shape does not change. So the corresponding sides would equal each other. And then this last one, you can try. You're going to rotate it 270 degrees. You can pause the video and give that a try. All right, I found my new coordinates for my images by taking the rule for 270 degrees and switching the order and changing the sign on the right. Switching the order, so it's 5 is first, the 2 is second, but you change the sign on the second one.